Off there, and we're live.
We're live.
Finally, only 6 minutes late.
Hey,
it's one of those days, pal.
that's how it rolls.
I'm glad. I don't know what this means. This might be insulting. I'm glad it was you that I screwed that up with, and not like I'm comfortable to mess the whole thing up with you. I had it set up, for some kind of streaming software that I don't have. So, here we are. Holy smokes. Before we roll, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool.
Can you hear me?
So clear.
All right.
Before we roll, I'm going to give a couple announcements real quick so I don't have to interrupt you once we get started. This weekend's going to be awesome. You get to miss the whole thing. Are you working tomorrow?
I can't wait. Yeah. I can't wait to miss it. I work tomorrow and Saturday, and then luckily I get Sunday off.
But... Well, when we get off live, I'll tell you what's up.
Okay.
And then you'll get updated next week too. So anyway, tomorrow is Bring a Buddy Day. It's the first Friday of the month. Yeah, and it is the first. So Bring a Buddy Day all day. If you want to register a buddy, or if you are the buddy and you want to get registered yourself, you can do that on Facebook. It's the link on Instagram in the bio. If you're subscribed to the CrossFit Federation Journal, it's in there. And if you can't find it anywhere, shoot me a message. I'll help you out. Members, you can register your buddies on SugarWOD. Can't wait to meet them. I'll talk more about it at the end of the podcast today. The big thing tomorrow is we're rolling out Podium Day, Podium Week. I think Court and I are actually going to go live tomorrow at like 1:30-ish maybe to actually give the full detail of it for
nice.
So while you're
people
at work,
like me.
While you're working, you can put the headphones in, not do your job and listen to what Podium Week is. And then Saturday, the summer social. That's a family event. So bring the kids, they can work out with us, and slip and slide, and watermelon day, and cookout, and it's going to be a blast. Summer social, 9 a.m. and that runs into the rest of the morning, early afternoon. 4th of July, we're closed. Enjoy the day with your family, and then Friday the 15th, July 15th, we have the Clippers game at 7:05. Are you working then too?
Probably. I haven't even looked.
Anyway, the Clippers game tickets are here at the front desk. If you haven't picked them up yet. I'm getting my haircut today by Laura, so I'm going to take her tickets. Dude, no haircuts for 2.5 years, 2 haircuts within a month. How about it?
Dude,
I'm on fire now.
Because your son made fun of you?
For those that don't know, my son called me Bonnie off of Toy Story when I had my hair like medium length. Anyway, man, that's enough announcements. I'll circle back around to those at the end. We're here to talk about you and to share your success story and to learn about you. I'm excited because we're like newly close, right? It feels like you're one of those friendships where it feels like I've known you forever.
Yeah. And it's weird because the first time I saw you was Halloween night. You guys were rolling through the neighborhood. We were over at Steph and Emily's, and I just like you and Courtney and Riot came rolling up, and I was like, I could hang with this guy. Like right off the rip, I was like, I could hang with this guy.
That's funny because so that wouldn't have been the Ohio State game. No, you're talking like Halloween, like trick or treat night.
Yeah.
So after that was,
and then after that was the Ohio State game when we were just sitting by the fire.
And I don't even remember what it was, but you popped something off of the fire, and I was like, oh, I would say that. I was like, oh, he's gonna be my buddy. So, so you are a husband, you're a father. How old is your little girl?
She will be 8 months on the 2nd.
I was just talking to Pat Dundon this morning, and we were talking about the podcast and stuff, and I told him you were on today, and so I said, when you coming on? And we're talking about because they're getting ready to have their baby, and I said, dude, it has to be at least 3 months after you have your baby because you're going to be a zombie you don't want to be live talking about anything in the first 3 months.
No, and it's crazy because for work we only get 2 weeks off when we have a kid, and I took the whole month of October off, and that didn't even seem like it was remotely close to long enough.
Oh yeah, that is when you were getting ready to go back when I met you. It's like 8 months ago.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Courtney and I were just talking about that, like maternity leave. It's pretty ridiculous.
It is. Like, it's insane. Monica took, I think, a full 12 weeks, maybe a little bit longer before she went back to work, and
which is still nowhere close to appropriate. Like what a mother would actually need.
Yeah. And so, like I said before, at work, it only used to be 2 days. You got 2 days, and it's like, finally enough people were like, that's like both days in the hospital. Like, this isn't even enough. And then finally they approved 2 weeks, like 3 years ago.
which is actually pretty cool. I don't even know if that's like commonplace for the male, for the dad.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I don't know what is like common, but they gave us 2 weeks, and I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and use vacation and take the whole month off because
sure.
it's first kid, don't know what's coming, and you're leaving the hospital, and like we didn't even have the car seat set up right, and we're like asking them for help, like what's going on, and then we got her in, and we got her in the car, and we're like, now what?
Dude, is it not the craziest
Now what do
feeling
we do?
where like you kind of after the baby's born, like right after birth, you're like, man, I can't wait to get home and get comfortable whenever. And then like when they're like, okay, so we're getting ready to wrap up stuff, like you'll probably be headed out in about like 2 to 4 hours. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh God, please no.
Yeah, can we stay another night, please?
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying. But now you're rolling. We're 8 months in.
8 months in. It's
Yeah, buddy.
crazy.
Are you guys gonna have any more? Do you want any more kids?
I think we might have one more. Still up in the air about it. I would like one more, but it's not up to me. So
That, yeah, man. We are two and done. I say that like, but a lot. That's a lot.
I would like to be 2 and done. 2 and done. At first, like before we even had Carly, I was like, I really want a boy. I really want a boy. And then Carly was born, and I was like, we were probably like 2 months in, and I was like, you know what? Like, if we have another kid, I think I'd be all right with it being a girl. And Monica was like, really? Like, you don't think she's gonna backtalk you? And I was like, no, I know she will, but I'll handle it a lot better than if it's my son. So.
Dude, my son is learning how to like stand up for himself, and he actually what's crazy is that, I mean, don't get me wrong, man, he has his explosions and stuff, but like he's actually respectful when he's talking back to me.
Yeah.
And correct also
like,
a lot of the times,
sir,
like like making good points.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, I'm in so much trouble. You are me. So here's a question for you. How did you and Monica meet, and where and when?
We met, oh man, what was it? It's probably like 7 years ago, playing indoor soccer. Okay. And then she was teaching at Whitehall, and she was a varsity soccer coach for the high school team. And I was coaching high school soccer at the time as well. And we kind of, after indoor soccer, we kind of just didn't really even like talk or anything after that for like a couple of years. And then she ended up just popping up on Facebook randomly. It said she like changed her profile picture or something, and I liked it, and then just like hit her up like, hey, how's high school, how's soccer going, all that kind of stuff. And then it just turned into like, hey, you want to hang out sometime? And then that pretty much wrote itself.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
It was pretty cool.
So you're both, I didn't know that. So I know that you have a soccer background.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know.
Yeah.
That not only did she have a soccer background, but she was coaching.
So. Yeah. She played high school soccer, and then she went to college at OU. And then I think once, like a couple of years after she got her teaching job at Whitehall, she ended up applying and getting the coaching job for the high school and all that. So
that's awesome. So but I don't know any details about yours either.
So I played high school and a little bit of college. Started messing my knees up in college. Had 5 knee surgeries.
I don't know. I can't believe that I don't know that, but yeah.
5 knee surgeries. And then one of my buddy's younger brother was, I think, a sophomore or junior. And so we went and watched him play one of his high school games, and they had a goalie that didn't really have any experience or anything like that. So I just kind of like went up to the coach one day, and I was just like, hey, do you need a goalie coach? And he just looked at his assistant and was like, what do you think? And he was like, yeah, that means I don't have to do it. So yeah, let's do it. And so that was in 2012, and I've been doing it ever since.
Same school?
No, I did 2 years at Big Walnut, 4 years at Westerville North, and then we just started our fourth year at Olentangy Orange.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what is your position now? Coaching?
I'm goalkeeper coach, assistant coach.
Sweet.
Yeah. So it's kind of nice. We got 3 teams. So on days that I don't work, I will just go early and I'll work with all 3 teams. And then on days that I do work, since I work 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and the varsity practice is usually 7 to 9, I'll just get off work, go to practice till 9, and then get home around 10:15. Yeah. And then it's like, all right, well, time to go to bed because got to get up in the morning.
Yes. Dude, right on. I was actually, not to be like dark cloud over a really positive topic, but I was just reading about the data around like deaths in soccer. Have you heard anything? So like there's a lot of new stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like sudden death stuff, which I think they're tying back to different things with COVID and the vaccine, and like what I think there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
controversy around. I'm completely ignorant to like all the details of it, but then what I was reading was talking about like pre-COVID and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
data, and that like there was like high death rates. You really
Really?
have something to say about it? I don't like.
So it's crazy that you bring it up, because last year at one of our games we had JVA was down on the grass field. We let JVB play up on the turf field. So I'm up on the turf before our varsity game. And I had no idea until the start of the varsity game, like getting ready to start the varsity game. And like a bunch of players are crying. And I'm like, what's going on? Well, someone from the other team like suplexed one of our dudes, and he broke his C5 in his neck, and he was millimeters from being paralyzed. And it's just like it's crazy. Just like just a freak
Freak
thing. Yeah, it's insane. So
that's what I was trying to like. This is so weird, actually, that this is like, it's very coincidental, because I wasn't like studying soccer for a kid or anything, but I just read, I was like 3 hours ago, I was reading about this, and like incidents, like kind of like freak accidents related to like actually playing the game. So like getting kicked in the head, or but then crazy one-off things like that. Like that's not part of the game.
Yeah.
Getting suplexed.
Yeah.
Wow. How is that kid? Do you
he's good. He was recently just told that he won't be able to play anymore. His doctor cleared him, and it was kind of dumb on the doctor's part, but he cleared him, and then they ended up doing a CAT scan and found like a hole in his spine, and that kind of
dude,
like told him like, hey, you can't play anymore. But he still shows up to everything. He conditions with us and all that, but he just can't play anymore. So he still, wants to be a part of the team and all that, and that's awesome, because he can help us out with coaching and all that kind of stuff.
How old is he now then?
He'll be a senior, I believe.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So and then like even we had another kid just the other day tears ACL, senior.
That makes sense. That seems like
that's
might be
more
commonplace.
That's a more common, but it's like even the other day, like you're talking about that. Even the other day, I think on YouTube, I was watching something, and like a goalie came out for a ball, and like his knee just went in the other dude's jaw and like knocked him out. And like instantly, like he knew, he like put him on his side, like basically trying to save his life, and like come out CPR, whatever it takes to do all that. And it's just like freak things happen, and it's crazy.
I feel like it's not. I feel like the sport does not get the respect that it deserves, or at least like so. I played football up until actually I got really hurt, like very similar to what you just described.
Yeah.
But whatever, that's old news. Like in the football realm, right? Like football is a contact sport and whatever. I feel like soccer does not get the respect that it deserves. Watch a game, because there is no like 9 to 11 second play and then a huddle, right? It's full tilt. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's like, just full go, and in high school they'll stop for injury or something like that, but then like professional and all that kind of stuff, it's just a rolling clock. They just keep track of it, and then they add the minutes on it when they need to, and it's just full go. There's no like, hey, we're gonna stop and give you guys a break. It's just, let's go.
Dude, I never paid any attention, never respected it at all when I was younger, and have like watched a little bit. Like this is overlooked. Like people are not respecting this, or at least not in the States. Probably like
yeah, it's fun. It's kind of like golf to some people. It's like boring. Why do I want to watch this?
I played baseball, but I think baseball is very boring to watch.
Baseball is boring to watch.
Like I really enjoyed playing it, but like I've not watched a baseball game ever, I don't think.
Until the Clippers game.
That's different. That's going with people.
Yeah. No, it's funny because I just told one of my old goalies yesterday, they were talking about baseball, and I was like, if there was like a channel that just had like top plays of each game, I was like, I'll just watch that.
Yes.
I'll just watch that. And he was like, yeah, but then nobody would watch baseball. And I'm like, why are they watching it now? For what?
Long, slow, boring. No, I'm going for the Diamond Dog Night or the dollar beers or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
So are you, now that you're coaching, how does the fulfillment compare to like to playing? Are you scratching an itch? I mean, you've been coaching for a long while now. Like,
Yeah, I've been coaching for a long time, 10 years now. I think I'm more happy with coaching than I am playing because you're kind of just passing your knowledge on and watching, these players grow as people and as athletes. Um, we had 1 year at Westerville North, we didn't have a goalie. And the guy I coach with is a physical education teacher at North. And he was like, I got an idea. And I was like, all right. And so he actually grabbed a basketball player and was like, hey, I'm going to bring my goalie coach in. He'll work with you for like 10 minutes and you can make a decision if you want to try out or not. And so all I did was I just stood there and I just volleyed the ball to her hands. She was just catching it, just catching everything. And I was like, dude, I mean, let's see what happens. And so she was like getting scholarship looks for basketball. And I worked with her for 2 years. In her senior year, she was getting D3 looks to go play soccer. To go play soccer. And I mean, obviously, she went and played basketball, but I just,
too cool,
just
man.
there's that fulfillment there. Like you taking someone who's never ever played the sport of soccer and you're getting them D3 looks, and it's the coolest thing ever.
That is very cool. It makes perfect sense. You'll definitely be able to relate to this. When we might have talked about this on one of like the original podcast episodes, like Courtney and I.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty confident that we did. Like you as an athlete, or like an aspiring athlete, there is fulfillment from like the big moments and the big games, and then you become a coach, and like I agree with you. I think it totally just like trounces that feeling. Like when you see the only thing better, like we can talk about it like out on our training floor too. Like the only thing better than like throwing your first muscle up is like getting someone else to throw their first muscle up.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like making a leap away from like physical like sport endeavors, but that feeling 10x is when you watch your kid do something for the first time.
Yeah.
Like the first crawl, the first walk, first word, like your heart just like skips a beat and explodes.
Yeah.
Like, for sure.
Yeah. And that's funny because I texted you on Father's Day and I was just like, yeah, at work, Carly crawled today.
Dude.
Awesome. But I ended up getting the video, so I saw like the second, third time, but now she's all over the place.
Yes.
We had
that's a fast turnaround.
We had to put a gate up just to like keep her in the living room. It's insane.
You think before that, you're like, man, I can't wait till they just have like a little bit of like self-sufficiency and whatever. And then they start moving and getting in and everything. You're like, go back to staying still. I can't keep up with you.
Go back to just sitting up, please.
Yeah, when you texted me that, I think out loud, I was like, oh. But you got to see it that night, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, saw it that night and seeing it every day now.
Good.
It's crazy.
Good.
It's so crazy.
So you marry your wife,
mm-hmm.
start your family, you're coaching. When you started here,
mm-hmm.
why? Like, so to give people a little bit of backstory, like it was really cool. I really love your story getting started because I was like, hey, dude, we had just like spent some time together. I was like, hey, come over to the guys' workout. And you're like, can't make it. And I think it was your idea. You're like, what's next week look like? Maybe is that? And it was just very fast.
Yeah.
Right. What were you looking to do? Why? Like, why did you get started?
So obviously, growing up being an athlete, I was like super fit, and I've tried to do like gym stuff on my own. I've had like a trainer before and all that, and I thought that was going to be like a more one-on-one thing, and it ended up being more like group stuff at a gym. And then COVID hit, and I kind of just fell out from there. And then one day I was talking to Steph, and she was like, "Yeah, I work out Storm's gym, whatever." And I was like, "Oh, okay, like that sounds interesting." And then it was one of those deals where it's just like you kind of look at yourself in the morning and you're just like, this isn't what I want to be. This isn't what I want to look like. Yeah, like I kind of like fell into a routine where it was kind of like wake up, go to work, come home, eat, drink, go to bed. And that was like it. Like we would, Monica and I would do stuff, we'd hang out and all that, but there wasn't really like, it was just a simple pattern. And then once we had Carly, I was like, all right, I can't do this lifestyle anymore. Like I need to better myself. I don't want to be the dad that's had 5 knee surgeries who can't crawl on the ground, can't walk, you know, I want to be able to run with her in the yard and all that. And so I was talking to Steph and she said she loved it. And I was like, well, I'll give it a go. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is it's not going to work out. And so you were like, hey, I'm going to hook you up with LA. And I was like, all right. I was kind of hoping it was going to be you. Like, you know, I knew you a little bit. And then you hooked me up with LA and I was like, I can totally hang out with this guy. I can totally hang out with this guy.
Good dude.
And so I did my immersion program with him. And dude, it was probably like the third day. I think it was just rowing and wall balls. And I almost blacked out. I'm just like rowing and he was like, come on. And I was like, I'm trying, man. And I got done rowing and I stood up to finish my wall balls and it was like black. And I was like, oh man, here we go. Either I'm finishing or I'm going down. And I ended up finishing and I was like, all right, like I can get down with this. And then I think, so once I joined, I think it was probably like only like my third or fourth class. And I finished and I went out the door and I just threw up everywhere. And I was like, oh my, like I haven't been pushed like this in a long time. But being pushed like that was what I needed. That's, you know, playing sports, you're constantly being pushed. And that's what I needed in my life because you can tell me to go do something and I'll do it, but that doesn't mean I'm going to give everything I have. And so with the coaches and even the people in here, like you see them giving max effort, you're going to follow suit. And so I went out and threw up and then Sarah came out and I kind of turned around. She was like, I'm not going to throw up. And I was like, it's cool. I already did. Like, let it rip. Yeah, let it rip if you need to. And I told myself once I joined, I was like, show up. All you have to do is show up. And after seeing how like classes go and everything like that, I'm like, I don't even have to think about anything. I literally have to show up and just do it. And so that's been like my main thing. There are days where I don't want to come at all. I'll wake up in the morning and I'm like, I don't want to do this. But then as soon as I walk through the door, it's like, all right, let's do it.
Dude, what you're describing, like if I was going to try to like define it, it would be like discipline versus this unicorn called motivation.
Mm-hmm.
And once you see the light, like once it clicks, like, oh, this doesn't need to be a 10 out of 10 on my desire scale every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just have to commit to the action.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, when you're in a culture of like-minded people and you're doing something that works and gets you results, like 60 minutes later, it's like, thank God I made that choice today.
Yeah. And it's awesome just coming in here and the energy of this place is through the roof. It's insane. You could come in here having the crappiest day ever. And within 5 minutes, your whole attitude has changed about your day, and you're just ready to get after it with everyone.
And I, I love that, man. I agree with you. It's like totally, you know, in my role and in my team's role, like we're on a mission to like cultivate that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like we totally get to experience that selfishly too.
Yeah.
Like I think that a lot of people probably believe like when you look at someone like you who is having phenomenal results and success and like just living a phenomenal life, like that a lot of it comes easy, that it's just like, oh, he like likes working out. Oh, he's talking about being an ex-athlete and like, or like a previous athlete you know, likes being pushed. That's not me. It's just like, I'm not Robbie. It's not for me. Like everyone struggles often with like the desire to do the thing. And,
there's so much truth because, dude, I went years without doing anything. And then, you know, all it took was one conversation. And I was like, I'll give it a go. Why not? And it's awesome.
And since that too, over the last 6 months, right at 6 months.
Yeah, pretty much.
You've been thrown a few curveballs. I think COVID ran through the house, right?
Yeah, sure did.
Work schedule. You're a father and a husband. Like there's responsibilities. What I love about you is so many things, my man. But is that like the work is going to get done. Like we're going to do the work in some capacity. Some days that may mean throwing Carly in the stroller
Yeah.
and going on what was supposed to be a 3-mile run and had to become a 1-mile walk because she wasn't digging the run. But like, I'm going to put in the work today. Like, I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to accumulate those wins.
Yeah. Yeah. And luckily for me, my cousin, I went just on a random run one day and I just posted it. And within probably like 30 seconds, he was like, "Hey, you want to do a half marathon in October?" And I'm like, "No, I don't, but I will." So, that one run was just me just trying to get something out of the day that I worked that I couldn't come to the gym. And then now it's just turning into this training, which is also helping push me and, stay fit and all that. So.
Have you ever followed anything with Spartan Race?
No.
So the Spartan Race, the founder is like Joe DeSena, I think his name. He's like a crazy, crazy dude. But the big Spartan Race, like the obstacle course race, like their big thing is if you get something on the calendar, everything else falls into place. Like, it makes everything else easy. And I think that's so true.
Yeah.
It most certainly is enough. And I'm saying is enough to want to feel better, have look a little better aesthetically, lose a few pounds, be happier and healthier, right? Like, that's totally enough. But if you want to like pour jet fuel on that, put something on the calendar, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's a half marathon, a lifting meet, a CrossFit competition, a obstacle course race, like put something on the calendar, make it real. You'll press the gas pretty hard.
Yeah.
So you're doing the thing, man.
Doing it.
Freaking love it.
Doing it. And then even today, Monica was just like, "Hey, I found a 5K we can do on Monday." And I was just like, "All right, let's do it."
Which not that you may be, well, I won't speak for you. Like, flashback 8 months. Like, if your wife asked you that, what does that look like if you show up to that 5K?
Not good. More or less, probably a walk. I'd be like, "Hey, I'll walk it with you." And I mean, it sucked because Monica loves to go on walks, but during that time, I did not want to go on walks. It's just something that I feel like made me tired. I didn't want to do it and all that. But now, fast forward to now, she's like, "Hey, let's go on a walk." I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." Like, how far do you want to go?
How many laps you want to do?
Yeah. Dude. How far do you want to go?
Oh, that's so cool.
It's awesome.
That's the coolest thing you've said the whole time. You said a lot of cool stuff. That's the coolest because
awesome.
I just said it yesterday. Is it a lawnmower?
So, are you getting your...
Yeah. Dude, I thought it was an airplane. I was like, we're getting hit. This is it.
Here we go.
Hey, cool. Yard will be mowed for the weekend.
Yeah, there you go.
Whoa, derailed. I was just saying this to Kristen yesterday. Like, don't get it wrong. Cool things happen inside these 4 walls. Like, you're going to pull a PR deadlift and want to do a backflip. Like, it's going to feel good. But even better than that is what happens outside of these 4 walls, like that right there.
Yeah.
Like, having not only peeling yourself off the couch to go on a walk with your family, but like now it's part of like a daily routine, and that's what you do.
Yeah, it's enjoyable.
So cool, dude.
Yeah, it's awesome,
and just cannot be overstated because that's phenomenal. What is like? What's one of your favorite memories so far? No, let me go back. Who have you connected with at the gym? Like most.
Probably Joe.
Good dude.
Yeah, he is a good dude. He's just a real dude, you know. And even Jeff in the morning class yesterday, doing the 400-meter runs. Yeah, I was just like, all right, I'm just staying with this guy.
Awesome.
Staying with this guy. And we just kind of pushed each other and, you know, pretty much did it together. It was like a group of us. And,
have you had an opportunity to like talk to Joe at length?
No, not really.
We definitely need to make sure we like set that up. This sounds like, but like go get coffee because he's a really cool dude.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's like a wealth of knowledge, specifically on just like mindset and mentality. So good dude.
Yeah.
So talk about some of your like favorite memories here thus far. Like what stands out over the last 6 months?
Probably one of my biggest would be probably like getting actual like snatches. I don't know why, but for some reason that was like one of the hardest things for me.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because it's the most complex movement
yeah.
there is. So
like I don't know. Like I really really struggled with it, and I was wanting to get more weight, but I wasn't able to because I didn't have the form down right. And for some reason, that was just one of the things that I've struggled with. And once I finally started getting it down, I felt like, all right, I kind of belong here even more than what I have in the past. I feel like I can like hang with these people now. And then one of the things that still gets me is pull-ups.
Yeah.
I can do like 5 strict, but I did a 30-minute class with your brother on kipping,
Yes.
and then I have one Friday coming up with Courtney.
Court is fired up. That's why I just got
yeah.
excited when the light bulb went off.
Yeah, she was coaching 545 last week or whatever, and I just went to ring rows, and she was like, "You are moving too smooth to be doing ring rows. Why are you not doing this?" And I was like, "I don't know if it's just like a mental block or like what's going on, but I can't do it."
Well, really good on you, man, because you have done it right. Where like this, the base is there, the strength foundation is there, and like to be frank, you didn't really have an option because we wouldn't have let you get away with like flopping around on a pull-up bar like a fish out of water,
Yeah.
right? But like you have all of the pieces and parts. And now, like working with Court, you guys put that together, man. It's good. Like I'm stoked to see. I'm excited to follow up on this exact part of the conversation, like a month, 2 months from now.
Yeah,
because that's sick.
yeah, I'm super pumped, and I wish it would have happened sooner, just for the simple fact of like doing Murph. Like I feel like I would have loved to fully. It was my first Murph, and I would have loved to fully like do it instead of having to break it up, do ring rows, stuff like that. But hey, there's next year.
You took the words out of my mouth.
There's
like
next year.
You did it so many times. People will avoid something like a benchmark or a milestone like that because they're not there yet. And then they kick themselves so hard down the road. It's kind of like taking before and after pictures. Like, I'm not going to take a before picture because I just don't even want to see it right now. And then 3 years, you're like, damn it, I wish I would have taken a before picture.
Yeah.
Same thing. You're like, man, I wish I would have done that first Murph. I would have had my first time broken up with Ring Rose because like next year and the year after, dude.
Yeah.
Like, cool.
I can't wait.
So on your radar, you've got a half in October.
Mm-hmm.
What half is that? Is that Columbus?
Yeah, Columbus.
I did that one time.
I was supposed to do it one time like 7 or 8 years ago, but we didn't get registered in time, so we had to drive down to Cincinnati, spend the night, and then run it in the cold and rain. And
so you already have.
I have one.
Gotcha.
I have one half marathon under my belt.
That long distance running like that, like you can
Sucks.
hit that. Oh yeah, dude. you hit that 8-9 mile mark, and you're like, whoa, I'm feeling good, like cool. And then like there's still that's the remainder is still a decent chunk.
Yeah.
And then yikes,
it hurts.
Dude.
And then it hurts.
When I was training for that half, I was very consistent. So I was following the CrossFit methodology and then like just layering in some additional running. Dude, I was feeling good. And then I thought I broke my foot like 2 weeks out.
Oh man.
And there at that point there was nothing to do but chill out on like the impact on the foot.
Mm-hmm.
And so it like tanked my momentum headed in. It was all bad news. So you're gonna be in a much better position. That's good.
Oh man.
Dude, I have like 1,000 things that I want to ask you.
Fire away.
Let's do it.
Like an open book.
How much time do I have? Do you have to get out of here at any certain time?
No.
Right on. Dude, here's one. What would you say? What would you say are like your biggest stressors when you like leave the four walls of veneration? Because, and I'll tell you why I'm teeing this up. Like, you and I have already touched on it a little bit. Like, what we do in here is great, and it has direct. It manifests directly in things like improved physical capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can say, I did not have snatches. Now I have snatches. Did not have pull-ups. Now I have pull-ups. Will have kipping pull-ups. And we see that directly here.
Yeah.
But the thing that we need to be sure that we're not overlooking are the things that take place outside the four walls, right? Like we've already kind of touched on that a little bit. Well, part of like the big four, so sleep, eat, move, and then stress management. Like what are some of the things as a dad and a working adult, like what are your biggest stressors when you leave the box?
That's a good question. I think one of the things like with Carly is she's not talking. She's too young. She doesn't talk. And so we've finally got to the point to where we just feed her and we put her in her crib. But then she'll just start screaming. And I'm like, bro, what's going on? She can't tell me anything, like, nothing like that. Some nights are late and getting up at 4:30 in the morning to go to work, and you went to bed at 12.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, all right, well, now I got 12 hours in front of me at work.
Have you seen any like upward trajectory on your ability to navigate stressors like that because of when you come here, or like the days that you're not training in the box, but you have like a longer run, you are intentionally seeking out your struggle. Like you're choosing challenging things. When you do that and you broaden your margin of experience, everything else that happens for the rest of the day kind of falls under that when it comes to like difficulty and challenge. Are you seeing yourself be able to navigate those stressors better because you've been choosing challenging things on purpose?
Yeah, I would say so. Again, like at home, there's really not anything that's like, man, this is really stressing me out. It's more or less just like work. It's work. It sucks because on days that I work, I don't see Carly in the morning. I work until 6 o'clock. I get home at 6:45 and her bedtime's at 7:30. So, I mean, I guess you could say that's probably like my biggest stress. That for sure is my biggest stress right there.
And certainly like, like maybe stress is even the right word, but like just frustrating.
Yeah.
Makes good sense.
Yeah. That is probably it right there.
For sure.
And then like, if we want to dive into work, like communication's huge. And, at work, like it's like everything's like last minute, or they kind of like keep things from you until like, well, we'll tell you when we're ready. And it's like, all right, but you realize it's like high school in here. One person hears it spreads like wildfire. Sure. And then it's like, so they had a meeting with one crew and they told them, we're going to start having to wear bump caps at work. Well, obviously if one person works overtime, then they, everyone hears it and they're like, well, how'd you hear about that? What do you mean how'd I hear about that? You said
it's like high school.
Yeah.
Dude, that is real.
100% it's like high school. It just spreads like wildfire.
Yes. So before you got started on this chapter of your journey, I'm going to ask you like a multiple layer question.
Okay.
What was your biggest like frustration with my industry in general? Like with the fitness industry prior to finding Veneration?
For me, I think it was lack of not knowledge, but like more personable with everyone. It's kind of just like, all right, here's what we're gonna do, and then you go do it, but then your trainer is off with someone else doing something. It's like, dude, I don't even know if I'm doing this right. Like, I don't have a clue. I'm just throwing weight around right now. And a lot of it seemed like it was kind of just like made up on the fly. It was almost like there wasn't like a full schedule of like, we're doing this. It was kind of like, all right, well, we'll do this. And then you'd get done with that. And then, all right, well, now we're going to go do this.
Now, are you talking about, and like, there's no right or wrong answer. Are you talking about like on a daily basis? You mean like being able to like look at a day of curriculum, or like even like on a larger scale, like over like more broad time?
It was more like, I'm talking about when I was paying someone to like coach me and like work out.
So like on that day, like, are you saying like your first 5 minutes of the workout, like the next 5 to 10 minutes after that first 5 minutes could be complete? Like, are we making this up as we go?
Yeah.
You were feeling that?
Yeah, that's what I was feeling.
Are you a planner or no? Like, do you like to have?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
because you were talking about that at work, and now you're talking about that in this, and you're describing me to a T. Actually, so me to a fault. Like
100%. And the other thing is like always be like 10 minutes early.
yes, sir.
Always.
Yes.
So like I could have my whole day scheduled. Like, so we're doing my brother-in-law's birthday on Monday. And I was like, well, what time do we have to be there? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, all right. Okay. But I mean, eventually she found out, but like, I'm the kind of person, like when I'm planning something, I want to know. It could be Monday, we're having this conversation. If we're planning something for Friday, on Monday, I want to know what time for Friday.
Yep.
And that's me.
I've come up really short on that in the past. So a couple pitfalls that I had was putting things back to back with no buffer. So like for example, today, like I had technical challenge that I had no idea how to navigate. And so like we started 6 minutes later.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I couple years ago, I would have something up right next to that, like right after this. And but I'm always creating at least a 15-minute buffer between things.
Yeah.
In the past, I would call that like wasted time, but like you would need that oftentimes, like something happens. So that's been really helpful. And then utilizing one scheduler. Mm-hmm. So like, and it's actually really helps. So like Courtney would use like a paper planner, and like I would use Google Calendar. And then I'd like start to use a paper planner too. Like we were just like in a million different places. And when the whole, my whole team got onto Google Calendar together, and like, you just don't have to have conversation around what you see right there in front of you. Gosh, that was a game changer, dude.
Yeah. Monica is my planner. I'm like, hey, what do we have Monday?
Yeah. Yes.
She's like, well, you have this and this.
Yes, sir.
I don't have anything. I'm like, all right.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
10 minutes early.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Tell me where I gotta be.
Man, I totally jumped down a rabbit hole there. That's okay. Because I was going somewhere with that. Just frustration in the industry prior to veneration. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so I told you I had a multiple layer question, right? Yeah. So my next layer is, what were you like maybe hesitant of or skeptical about starting this chapter? Like what were you maybe like a little weary of?
I think kind of just like falling into what I've been into before already, I guess. Kind of not, like for all I knew, it could have just been like show up, do it, go home, and that's it. Like I didn't realize that it was just going to be like this super tight knit group that everybody welcomes you with open arms. Because even in the past, going and working out with other people, it's kind of like, all right, well, I'm just going to do this by myself. I'm not really going to talk to you. I'm not going to, I'm here for me. I don't really care about you. And then once I started showing up and realized how tight knit it was, I'm like, this is what it's about right here. And that's why for me, I was just like, there's no quitting this. This is something that's going to go for a long time.
I just said this to Kristen yesterday as well, that because I've been immersed in the culture for so long, specifically ours now for a very long time, and then prior to CrossFit Veneration, just the CrossFit community, I lose sight of, like, you get very pigeonholed purposely. Like you pay attention to your circle and what's around you, man. And you forget that like it's commonplace to like fight over dumbbells. Like that's a funny, that sounds insane.
Yeah.
But like, hey, bro, you're using that bench? Like, yeah. And like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It sounds like a foreign language.
I asked if you were using it, not sitting on it.
Dude,
you know what
nuts.
Yeah.
Yes. But you lose track of that when you're in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that you like that I've lost sight of the BS out there. But man, you nailed it. You're gonna freak out when you learn about what we're rolling out tomorrow. Like based on everything you just said, you're gonna go nuts. But I'm right there with you, man. There's been plenty of challenging and like I'll even say like very dark times up here as I've like moved into adulthood and not figured stuff out, navigated things and trying to figure things out. And like this place has been a very just constant.
Yeah. And one of the biggest things for me was not knowing what to do. I could download an app, go to a gym. We have a gym at work. I could go there after work, but it would just basically turn into like 45 minutes of cardio and then kind of just like, well, I guess I'll do this for 5 minutes and then maybe do something else. And then you leave there and you're just like, I accomplished nothing. In
45 turns into 30, turns into
Yeah.
10 minutes on the treadmill, turns into nothing for 3 years, dude.
Yeah. And that's pretty much what happened.
Yep. It's because you're normal. I mean, this is your normal.
Yeah.
Like we are meant to be social beings. We're meant to be around people. And like this is not for everyone. It can be for anyone, but it's not for everyone. We have people that come in and like, hey man, I don't want anything to do with like I have no desire to like make friends or like work with a coach or a trainer. Like that is totally okay.
Yeah.
This is not for you.
Yeah.
Like that's not a good fit. And here's 3 different types of organizations that may be, but
yeah,
this is a much different thing.
Yeah. So. And it's cool because like even like telling like friends and people at work like, oh, I started doing this CrossFit thing or whatever, and one of the dudes was even like, oh well, I mean, good luck. He was like, I hurt my back doing CrossFit, so I don't do it anymore. And I was just like, well, clearly you weren't doing something right. But okay,
that's something I would like to. Well, dude, actually, what I would really like to do is have you back in and like give you time. I really want to do this. If you ever had like any questions about like why on anything, like the program related, the methodology related, whatever, like that would be a really, really great conversation. Like if you brought those to the table, because you are one of the few who sounds like you're very, very intrigued by that and like geeked out on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that'd be a blast of a conversation because, you're exactly right. They're like, it should appear, the workouts should appear random. And they are everything but that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a great.
Yeah. And I've got like 2 people at work right now. It sucks because I'm like, hey, they have bring a buddy day. I'm like, let's do this. And they're like, well, what's it like? And I explain it to them and they're like, yeah, I could do that. Let's do it. And then it's like every month it's like, gotta work.
Yeah.
Gotta work on Friday. Gotta work that Friday.
Keep me in the loop on that. We can figure out something to help them.
Okay.
Like I'll tell you, I won't even. Here's exactly what we'll do. Like we'll just set up a time. Like one of us will put together a session for you guys.
Okay.
Like for you and them, and yeah, we'll have it. Good Lord. Oh, dude, it's almost haircut time. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
But that's exactly what we'll do.
Okay.
Yeah, on us. That'd be a blast.
Yeah.
So yeah,
one of the guys like coaches like kickboxing and stuff like that. So he's like super pumped.
Dude, that'd be sweet.
He's super pumped.
Yeah, let's work on that. Like this coming week.
Okay.
We'll set it
figure
up.
something out.
So the final layer to my question then, on this topic is, if you could go back 6 months ago, let's go further. If you could go back 12 months ago, so you're 6 months out from taking the leap.
Yeah.
What do you tell the person that's in your shoes? Like, what do you tell yourself? Like, what advice do you give to yourself?
Oh man, I would say just do it. Like, quit overthinking everything. It's you think about it and then you try to analyze your thoughts and like where exactly are you gonna go with this, and like don't be afraid of it. Just go do it. Go do it. Enjoy it. Because you're gonna enjoy it and you're actually gonna get something out of it. Like coming in here hasn't, like, not only has it helped me like physically, but it's helped me mentally so much.
How so?
A lot of it has to do with the energy in here. Like probably 9 out of 10 people would be like, that guy's an a-hole.
You?
Yeah. But not now.
Because my reaction was real. I was like,
yeah,
you?
But not now. Like I still have like my moments where I can be, but I'm more like positive now. Like looking at the positive in things instead of like getting angry about it, getting mad. Like now it's like, okay, so let's look at it this way. And that to me has been huge.
Dude, I will tell you this. I do not I do not take that lightly. Like that is certainly a mission of ours in this culture and what we're doing. So that you just keep saying cooler stuff every time you open your mouth. Like that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
It makes me very happy for
I've
you.
completely enjoyed the change that has come from coming in here.
That's
And
awesome.
a lot of people don't know, but I used to be the shyest person on earth. Monica to this day does not believe that I used to be shy.
Like the last 5 minutes of what you've said makes no sense. A shy asshole. I don't.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. I didn't like in high school. I like wouldn't talk to anyone except for my friends until probably junior year. So from like kindergarten to junior year of high school, like give me something to hide behind because I'm not having a conversation.
What
with you.
changed?
I think I honestly just stopped caring about what people thought of me.
Do you that's huge.
Yeah, it was huge.
Are there times where you where that's not the case? Like where you slip up and you get back to like you catch yourself like having maybe too much concern about what somebody or like what even like an arbitrary like
Yeah, I would say sometimes there are times where I've like it's weird. It's weird because I met someone like you and I was like, all right, I can hang out with this guy. And then I meet someone like LA and I'm like, all right, I can hang out with this guy. But then like meeting someone else for the first time, like I gotta like feel their vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like right back into the turtle shell until we have at least probably like a 5-minute conversation. And then it's like, all right, I can hang with this guy or I'll deal with him type deal.
I don't think I've had this conversation at length with a couple people. I think like as we are getting older, we're still babies. Like that's that's in the grand scheme. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Still very young, but as we are getting older and just having some life experiences, I think it's okay to feel people out, man. I have been guilty of. I like to give everybody the benefit of the doubt because, and I want to stay on track here because I'll totally go like I'll go deep on this, but because like we all have our crap that we're dealing with, like, so to be like insecure about something or to be concerned about what other people think, like we're all dealing with our own crap. So I like to give people the benefit of the doubt and like assume the best, right?
Yeah.
But there are, I mean, like a lot of people are like selfish beings and like can totally freaking squelch you at their benefit, like when your existence and your relationship with them is no longer serving them the way they need it to serve them, right?
Yeah.
So I've been freaking burnt by that, dude, and like so I keep I unapologetically, like I say unapologetically as I'm hesitating to say it unapologetically, I keep a pretty solid arm's distance until I feel out like, hey man, like not just like, would I trust you with my stuff? Like, hey, would I trust you to watch my kids?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So I think that's like a very good thing.
Normal thing.
Yeah. And just like good. And I think developed.
Yeah.
But that's a good topic. That's good. I could really go in on that. Well, dude, I'm excited for your half. How many July, August, September? Is it early October?
Like the 15th or something. So like
Mid-October.
right in the middle.
So you have 3.5 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3.5 months. You feel good about the like rate of progress trajectory?
I wouldn't say I feel great about it, but it's one of those things where it's almost like kind of coming in here. It's like just go do it. Just go do it.
Well,
I know I can complete it, and completing it's not the issue. Is my time gonna be where I want it to be? But I feel at the same time I have gotten and learned like this mental toughness, like just push through it. Like it's gonna hurt. It's not gonna feel good.
Have you identified the time that you want? Like, have you identified the goal?
I went under 2 hours.
Gotcha. And so like in reverse engineering that math, what is that mile time?
It's gotta be right around 8.
Yeah. So we
A little over 8.
so there's the answer is like we have work to do there. Let's identify the hard goal, which you have, and let's work backwards from there. And then just make sure we have simple action around it. I got you.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Because let's not go into it on just like a hope and a prayer.
Yeah.
Even though you can like press and push.
Yeah. I do that quite a bit.
Yes. Let's have a plan. Dude, I didn't share. That's what I was gonna say. I asked you about your memories. My favorite memory about you at the gym thus far is early on when we did the burpee. Was it burpee box jump?
Dude.
That
I was honestly thinking about that today. Like, I didn't know if it was going to come up at all. But when it was 1-to-1 work to rest ratio,
buddy.
and you were like, "Hey, I'll be your partner," I'm like, "All right, yeah, this will be sweet." And then there was no rest for me.
Well, yes, you did great. That is something earlier when you were talking about like your relationship with like LA and Steel and stuff, and the whole coaching staff. Like, there is a time and a place on when to pull our clients forward, or people would say like push, right? To push them.
Mm-hmm.
A good coach knows that. So like when you're coming off of a all day shift and you got no sleep the night before and you come in and you share that, for us to be like, pick up the bar, Robbie, faster. Like that's nothingness. That's not coaching. That's just noise, and that's asinine. That's not what we do. There are times to press the freaking gas, and we have a good pulse on that. And that was one of those times, dude. You were deep. You were deep in the pain cave, and you were smiling or immediately afterwards. So
yeah, that felt good.
Really good.
Yeah, that felt good.
Sir.
Nothing better than barely getting a step over a bag just to fall to the ground.
It's like, come on, Robbie, you're good. You're fine. Yeah. I don't know, man. No, you're good. I love it. Hey, before we roll, I have one. I will ask you one final question. It's my favorite question ever. Have you watched any of these yet?
I don't think so.
Good, because
I've seen them pop up, but I haven't.
Dude, I've got 2 questions for you. But first, so our upcoming events, tomorrow's Bring a Buddy Day. We talked about that. And then if you are a current member of Veneration, be here tomorrow, unless you're Robbie. Commitments with work smirk,
Yeah.
But no, I'll tell you what's up. And then Saturday, summer social, bring the family. Monday, we are closed for the 4th. Clippers game is the 15th. My friends that are listening to this, Robbie has already told you exactly what needs done. Believe in yourself and take the freaking step. And like, let's be very frank. It's going to be challenging. If it was easy, everybody would do it. That's a cliche, but like, if you want meaningful life change, you need to take a step. And so I invite you in to have a conversation with our coaching team. And we just want to learn about what you want in your life. And we want to help you best. And we'll give you the best possible prescription for how to bring that to life. And then we'll give you a couple other options too, if that doesn't work for you: schedule, budget, time. Like we're here to help you.
Yeah.
So if you want to invest in yourself and make meaningful life change, we've got your back is the message. So go to CrossFitVeneration.com, book your new member consultation. We are here to help. If you have found any value in what has come out of Robbie's mouth today, which has been a lot of very valuable stuff, I encourage you to share this with a friend. If you can like and subscribe to our page, you'll get notified of when we go live like this. But pay it forward and share this to somebody who has a story similar to Robbie's here that could benefit from the little push. So 6 months from now, they can be in your shoes. My final questions for you.
Okay.
1, is there anything that I did not ask you about today that you are hoping that I was going to?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
I did a good job.
Yeah,
though, man. Right
yeah,
on.
you did a great job.
Good. Thanks, buddy.
You did a great job.
I'm knocking the rust off still. I stopped for like 6 months when we had Scar. And so thank you.
Yeah. And it was like kind of weird because, again, I'm a weird dude. I'm like, I have no idea how this is going to go. So it's like, like at soccer this morning, like not doing anything. I'm like, I wonder what he's going to ask me. Like, how, like, does he just have a list of questions? Like, how's this going to go? I'm like playing out answers in my head. Like, I got to sound good for this. I'm not trying to screw it up.
Just me and you, my man. That's good conversation. And that's what the second one is always even more fun because now you know what to expect, is that it's not scripted. I have a couple questions in my head that I want to ask you because I'm sure you'll have good answers on them, but it's just a couple buddies talking.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll do this over and over and over again.
Next time we can do it with a little,
buddy.
a
It's
little bourbon.
right up there.
It's right
up there. Just we'll have to do it later in the day.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting there. Shoot. Like screaming in the mic. Shit. The final question. This is on the spot.
Okay.
Go with your gut. How do you define a successful life?
I guess just loving what you do, loving like surrounding yourself with people that you love, not really having any regrets, I guess. Like right now, like I'm not really stuck at work. There are times where I enjoy it, there are times where I don't. But I'm the kind of person where it's like, why not go try this? So like everyone, I've been asked before, if Intel comes, are you going to go check it out? Yeah. Why not? One of my buddies told me, he said, if you died tomorrow, you would be replaced the next day. And that's like always like hit home with me. And he's like, and it's so true. Monica asks me all the time, she's like, why is it so easy for you to call off work? And I'm like, because I'm replaceable.
Damn.
I'm replaceable. And she has a hard time because she's teaching kids. She was like, it's easier if I'm there. I'm doing this.
Well, and quite literally, like you remember having a substitute.
Yeah.
Like it's
chaos.
It's not replaceable.
Yeah.
Like it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Complete chaos.
Dude.
But for me, I'm in a factory making cylinders. Like you could pretty much make everything automatic in there and you wouldn't need people. So for me to just be like, all right, I'll go do something else. I'll go try something else. Like it's not a hard thing to do. For me, I personally would love to become like a full-time coach. Obviously not here, but like with soccer. I would love to be a full-time like goalie coach, have like my own program, this and that, but still got to build up like clients and all that kind of stuff. But yeah. that would be like the dream.
Yeah, brother. I mean, let's talk about it, because like if I have one role in my professional life, it is helping people bring those dreams to life. I mean, in multiple arenas, right? Like I do that here with my team, and I'm actually coming to the very near end of a certain segment of my training, like to be a fitness business mentor. So that's phenomenal. Yeah, let's talk more off air.
Yeah,
it's good. Right on, brother. All right. Hey, let's get out of here. Laura, I'm on my way to get my haircut. Here I come. Guys, thank you so much for listening today. Robbie, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thanks for having me.
You are doing the freaking thing, man. And I'm excited for everything that you're about to accomplish. I'm excited for the follow-up on this. I'm excited for you to have this right here for your family 10 years from now. Like, hey, I back then 10 years ago, I felt I was on a good path and really good, but check out where I'm at now, like 10 years down. Like it's just freaking awesome, dude. So good for you and everything that you're accomplishing. I'm excited to see what you do next. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm back tomorrow with my wife to fully introduce an all detail podium week for guys like Robbie, who will not be in the building tomorrow. And until then, everybody stay safe, keep moving, and I'll talk to you soon. Later, y'all. Ending.